So there you are, your house has been on the market for a while and you were wondering whether or not you'd get it sold, and lo and behold, a buyer came along and they love it. They want to buy it, they've made an offer, and you are just thrilled. You look at the contract and you see they have a closing date of 30 days out. So in 30 days, they want to sign the papers and own your home. The problem is, wow, you can't get into where you're going for 60 days. You have nowhere to go. There's no easy road to be able to let that buyer have your house in 30 days. You don't want the deal to fall apart, though. You want this closing to go through. An answer that works oftentimes for both buyers and sellers is what we call a possession by seller agreement. So what your agent, if you're the seller, can do will be go to the buyer's agent and say, hey, is there any way that after our closing in 30 days that the seller, the owner of the home, can stay in the house for another 30 days or 60 days or whatever can be negotiated? The seller will pay the buyer rent for that time, and usually it's an amount that's equal to the buyer's house payment, not always, but that's something that your agent can do for you, can explore and see if that's a possibility. Now, many times the buyer will say, well, actually, that's fine with us. If that's all we're negotiating, we're happy to do that. We're staying with family or friends right now, or maybe they might say our lease doesn't expire for 2 or 3 months anyway, so we can accommodate the seller in that area. And there's a standard form that most association of realtors have that are made just for that. It's a little rental agreement. It says that the seller can stay in the house. It's up to them to maintain the utilities. It's up to them to have insurance on their personal property if they're concerned about that. Now, the person who's buying the house, they're going to want to have homeowner's insurance. And this little agreement spells out all of that, and I've seen it work many times wonderfully. Now, certainly sometimes the buyer might say, well, no, we have to have it in 30 days. We can't let the seller stay after closing. And then it's either a matter of somebody finds a way to make it work or no deal. I mean, that possession is up for negotiation, just like the sales price, just like whether or not the seller will pay closing costs. It's all negotiable. And the vast majority of the time, once an offer is initiated, we come to a happy meeting of the minds and everyone moves forward to closing. And oftentimes it does so with this instrument we call a possession by seller agreement. Hope you have a great week.